It's Tuesday the 17th of January. Welcome to the Football Spy Show, sponsored by our friends at the car giant Renault. We're live and interactive every weekday morning, and you're very welcome to have your say in all of the latest breaking transfer news. So if you'd like to get in touch while we're on air, then email us at spy@mirror.co.uk. You can tweet us at Mirror Football or at Mirror Darren, and of course, you can get in touch via YouTube later this morning. But we start as ever with the papers, and Gary Cahill completed his £7 million move to Chelsea yesterday. But we're more interested in a player we've discussed on the show before. His name is Cesar Azpilicueta. He's a 22-year-old right back, and he's a good player. He's in this story here. He plays for the French club Marseille at the moment, but Chelsea like him, and he is next on their list. They do like the Porto left wing-back Alvaro Pereira, but Azpilicueta is the next man on their list. Full details in the Mirror and on the Mirror Football website. Now, regular viewers of this show will know that we like new names here on the show during the transfer window. Here's another one for you. It's the Brazilian striker Henrique. He's 20. He plays for Sao Paulo, and the Sun say that he's agreed an 18-month loan deal to QPR. After that, there'll be an option for Mark Hughes to buy the talented youngster for £5 million. He was voted the player of the tournament at last summer's Under-20 World Cup in Colombia, and I dare say he's a very good player. I just wonder whether Mark Hughes would be better off looking to bring in players who are going to make an immediate impact at Loftus Road. They really do need some cutting edge up front. Actually, we're going to stick with the Sun's Football Confidential page, because they say that the Partizan Belgrade midfielder Henrique Kamara has issued a come and get me plea to Chelsea and Arsenal. I'm not sure if either club needs or reads Football Confidential, but just in case they don't, he's 24, he was born in Sierra Leone, and he has a Finnish passport. Funnily enough, his new coach at Partizan is the former Chelsea boss Avram Grant. Some more transfers for you, and you may be aware that the Blackburn defender Chris Sambers handed in a transfer request. Well, the Telegraph said that in the battle of the clubs that want him, QPR should win, as Samba wants to be reunited with Mark Hughes, the man who signed him for Rovers from Hertha Berlin. Let's go north of the border for our next paper. The Daily Record have got 3 transfer stories on their back page. The first one is this one. It's the Celtic striker Gary Hooper. Celtic politely telling the Championship club Southampton that they'd rather not sell their informed striker. The Southampton boss Nigel Adkins worked with Hooper at Scunthorpe, and he's refusing to take no for an answer from Celtic. Also on the back of the Record, this story up here. The French club Sochaux, they've had a second bid of around £900,000 for the Rangers midfielder Maurice Edu rejected, and they've indicated that they're going to withdraw their interest. Now, I have to say, you can never say never while the transfer window is open. The other back page story here in the Record is one that we talked about on the Football Spy show yesterday. Rangers having a look at the right fullback Einar Jaeger. The Norway legend Kjetil Rekdal has urged Rangers to snap him up or miss out on what he describes as the best bargain of the transfer window. You're watching the Football Spy show, sponsored by our friends at the car giant Renault, and it's time for your messages. Mr. VIP 414 thinks Liverpool should move in for the prolific Lille striker Moussa Sow. We discussed him on the show before. He's 25. He's already made it very clear that he's keen on a move to the Premier League. Mark Stevenson 7 wants news on Ravel Morrison. He's the exciting young midfielder at Manchester United. He is indeed talented, but he's had a few problems behind the scenes, and he's yet to agree a new deal with his first professional contract reaching an end in the summer. So Alex Ferguson says he's turned down a new contract. All the papers today reporting that Morrison himself said on a tweet yesterday that he hasn't been offered a new deal. So we'll see where that one ends up. But just to let you know, Newcastle do like him a lot and have already had a bid for him turned down. Truden would approve if Liverpool signed the Tottenham and England striker Jermaine Defoe. He says here, Defoe would do nicely. Good pace, excellent finisher, good movement. He also asks why Liverpool aren't going for the Marseille striker Loic Remy. Well, they have watched him. We'll tell you a bit more about Loic Remy a bit later on in the show. One more for you. Excellency would love to see Einar Jaeger. We talked about him a second ago at Rangers. Says here, love the show very much. Thank you very much. And the G Whitey actually wants to know if Newcastle is still in for the PSG striker Mevlut Erding. Well, he's 24. Newcastle do indeed like him, and he's not in the plans of the new coach Carlo Ancelotti. We do think that he will end up at Newcastle, but there seems to be some way to go with that one yet. It's the Football Spy Show, sponsored by our friends at the car giant Renault. Let's run you through a few more transfers before we go. And the Independent have a few fascinating tales today. The main one is all about the Marseille striker Loic Remy. We were just talking about him a second ago. As we said yesterday on the show, the Spurs boss Harry Redknapp was in France to see him score both goals as Marseille comfortably beat Lille 2-0 on Sunday evening. But after we came off air yesterday, word began to reach us here at the show that the £22 million rated striker intends to stay in France until at least the end of the season. When he was asked about Tottenham's interest in him, Loic Remy said, "It's nice, but I'm 100% certain to stay at Marseille until the end of the season." So we'll see if a decent offer from Right Hart Lane will change all that. Actually, let's stick with the Indy because I like this story over here. Liverpool have made the Swansea midfielder Joe Allen one of their targets for this summer. He's 21, he's very skillful indeed, and his contract runs out in 2015. Liverpool have watched him, they like him, and I reckon he'd find that move very hard to turn down. One more from the Indy, and Everton boss David Moyes likes the Manchester City defender Nedum Anua. Here it is over here. He's 25, he's got 2 years left on his contract, but he's a fringe player under Roberto Mancini, and he would cost around £4 million. Just to let you know, the German daily Bild is reporting today that Freiburg striker Papis Cisse, aged 26 years old, he says that he's flattered by the interest shown in him by the Premier League side Sunderland. The International Business Times is reporting that the 21-year-old Blackburn winger Junior Hoilett looks likely to stay at the club beyond the January transfer window, even though Spurs like him, and even though his contract expires in the summer. I'm not too sure about that. The Daily Star say that Liverpool are looking at a move for the £5 million rated Swansea striker Scott Sinclair. As you know, he's 22, played very well on Sunday against Arsenal. And the Liverpool Echo report today that Everton are set to give a trial to the 30-year-old USA striker Edson Buddle. He currently plays for the German second division side Ingolstadt 04. One more for you. And this is interesting. In the Times, they say that Christopher Samba going to force Blackburn's hand into selling him. You may know that he put in a transfer request, details of that on the Mirror Football website. The Sun reporting today that he's not had a good reception from his teammates at Blackburn Rovers. And also, the latest instalment of the Carlos Tevez saga, because La Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy are reporting today that Inter Milan are set to increase their offer for the Manchester City striker to 28 million. The Inter chief's Massimo Moratti, as you know, and he's quoted as saying it may well be worth it. It definitely would be worth it to us here in England. Steve's in the office waiting to update you on all of the breaking transfer news. The Football Spy Show is back in the morning. I'll see you next time.